Hello, good evening. I thought I would show you a little bit of hindsight into, with a little bit of hindsight, looking at the, let's say, AM to PM session of today on NQ, on Nasdaq, how you can use, first some setups, market structure, price action setups in the style of IFOP or NQ God, and how you could have used, and how I have used. I didn't take all these setups, but I did take a few. How you could have used your eyes or the help of an indicator, some crazy vertical runs of price with no resistance, which is the point of taking these amazing double bottom reversals at liquidity levels in origins and areas responsible for breaking zones, which I'll show you. So I've annotated and I've tweeted about a few of the setups that basically had zero resistance and runs of at least 30-40 points today. The only thing you needed to take these is the eyes to see the market structure and the zones, the relevant areas where to enter, and I have a generally long bias. So my bias was already the whole day, ideally reach previous day high. And so as I held that bias, I only looked for longs. I did take 3 trades or 4 trades around the open with an evaluation and combined with top step, and I managed to pass it. And then I took with a funded account 2 or 3 trades, not specifically these crazy runs, but in the, I think I took this one. So this setup after, or we'll find out what did I take. I think I took this and I waited the confirmation that this SNDR here was broken, was breached. So I might have entered here. We'll see. What I wanted to do is to show you how these setups would have been possible if you had good eyes for market structure and sort of a theory of price action and order flow, or if you had used the right way my indicator, which currently highlights all this. So just turn on the matrix. We go through this, go back, revert the bars and try to take these trades, but I just want to show you that the indicator actually marks all these zones as they develop. Now there's a lot of noise because I left it all on the screen and I don't delete the let's say the mitigated zones when I could, but then you wouldn't see them. As you will notice that a lot of these zones are drawn automatically. I need to double check if the setting is correct. I think maybe this one. Let it recompute everything. Yeah, this is the one. Depending on how you read the zones. So, and I just want to also do a small change, which is the one to prune them. Yeah, this is what I wanted to say. So by turning the setting of a specific kind of zones, you will we will mark a lot of origins and a lot of SNDRs, and if you knew exactly which ones to use, you would have had some incredible trades. So this is what you see if I remove my drawings. This is unmitigated areas that my indicator would draw. If you're back in time, it will only draw the relevant ones at that time. So let's go back in time and see how you could have taken 5 trades of more than 40 points today with small stops. That's the point. So imagine that you take more setups than this, and some might be losses, but the ones you take do 40 points with 5 point stop. That's a recipe for making a lot of money. Hindsight is not real trading, so do not take this as financial advice. Do not take this as a hint that this indicator will make you profitable. It won't. Absolutely won't. But it can be a help if you already had the eyes and the trader discipline and attitude and ears in front of the chart. This might be a help. So let's do it together. So we hide this and we go back. Actually, just a reference point. So we had a first setup here. Here's the major one, double bottom at liquidity level at an origin. This is the major AFOP setup, but there were plenty others. So let's start from here. Okay, so we are going to zoom back to this point. I'll let it recompute, and we're just gonna go through what we could have seen if we were in front of the chart, and I was, and for some part of this morning, this AM session, what we could have seen. Okay, let's do it. I will just leave the lines, so it makes it easier to see which one we should take and which one we shouldn't, and then we can have a discussion. Shouldn't we have taken something else or not? Okay. You see, this area hasn't been mitigated, so price moved aggressively up, touched midnight, and then it started to come down and break down. Now also I want to make you notice the time the good setups are happening. This comes with some experience, and it does happen. I checked, and all of the times that it happened, it has happened. Very specific times. Some people say time does not matter. Well, it does not matter if you're very good at reading, you say, market structure, price action, supply and demand zones, or however you want to call them, order blocks. But you will see that there's a sort of correlation with time. I'll point it out. So it seems the market structure from green lines. So we're going up. We're violating the bullish zone. Higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. At one point, we start to do the lower lows, right? So we entered a bearish momentum in price. Remember, and this is where the entire skill of a trader comes in. You have to have a narrative and a long-term bias. Sometimes with market structure you don't need it, but if you have an idea where the daily candle is gonna head to, or the next 4 hours, it does help. Me personally, I do use this information, and I try to form as precise as possible bias for the next 4 hours, the next day. So we have a strong move, a flip here, bullish momentum. At one point we break it. What time do we break it? We break it at we passed 11, and we break it at 11:10. I also want to show you something, just like from the last. These are equal levels, so we don't use it. The last leg before breaking down, can draw an extension, and oftentimes price will revert at around 2 to 2.5 or 3 to 3.5 of a manipulation leg, when basically there's a reversal, so that you can always use to gauge a multiplier. We call this standard deviations in some schools, but the projections of the last leg of the manipulation before a change in market structure. I don't know how long I'm going to make this. If I speak for hours, we haven't even started skipping candles. Okay, so the things we're going to be attentive to is the reaction at around SNDRs, areas responsible for breaking structure, or the origins. Origins has a few different definitions. In my book, we're going to use the last candle before the up move as a definition for origin in this case. So we're going to skip 5 seconds, but 5 seconds and go through the whole session. So we're reaching one SNDR, the SNDR that broke this high. See the reaction there. See if we will be inclined to take a trade. You see there was no reaction, right? So when price breaches the SNDR, it generally goes, skip it at 50% and goes through the origin. So let's see the reaction to the origin. Okay, we touched the 50% of the origin. We reached almost the 3.5, the standard deviation. We're still inside this zone. This was the flip. Okay, what happens? Okay, here, shall we turn on valid highs and valid lows just for you? It's going to take a while to recompute. So we are in an origin, we are in this zone, we're bouncing up. What time is it? 11:20. 11:20 to 11:40. 20-minute windows around the half an hour are when the power of 3 cycle of the half an hour candle, or the AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution of the half an hour candle ends. So there's an infusion of volatility, and price will make a move. And so it does. So we get a valid low on 5 seconds. Now, okay, we have to check. You can check what ES did at these highs, these lows, if ES took this lower low or not. And if you had the bullish bias, it's at the end of a half an hour candle. And maybe wait for the breach of this protected high. Let's see what happens. We breached it. Give it a moment, because you could do, SPS set up to the downside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go down. So wait for the next candle. Cannot do it the next candle. Retest. Okay. Maybe this is long, right? So let's say it's a long. The official full stop would go here. You can decide. You can expect that it would come back to the actual flip candle. Take 2 to 1. See what happens. Try 2 to 1. See, I haven't checked what happens. So if this might work, this might work. Ah, we almost wicked. Oh my God, is it gonna work? Did I take this trade? It's reminiscent of what. So if you wanted to be sure, you wait for the second flip. Look, I don't know how this is actually not intended. We could have been stopped. There was some dilly-dallying here at 11, and then it's almost a launch. So the kill zone actually was over. So you shouldn't have taken this. Let's keep price going. See if we would have had a win. I want to see if I would have gotten a 2R. Maybe 2R with that stop would not be worth, right? Still, almost whatever. So holding for all these highs, you have to keep track of the market structure. If you have a strict risk management, not based on actual objectives, sometimes you're not going to hit them. So you could have had 1-to-1. If you do 1-to-1s, if you look for logical levels, you could have gotten, this SNDR 20 points. All right, I set that for 2, and I don't think we're going to get that. We'll see. Maybe yes. I don't know. I don't remember. I remember some of this price action from before. I might have stopped. We stopped, you know, take some TP and then we stopped for the rest. I don't remember. Everything seems so familiar. Okay. Okay. This trade did not reach 2R if we count it from there. But if you would have stopped at the, you know, this level 20 points, you would have gotten 23 points out of it. Okay. There was also other places where you could have entered and reduced the stop. Just, it's very rough. And, you know, we know this trade would work, but I haven't, you know, set up the trade so that I can show you exactly how perfect this would be. 23, 26. We didn't get to 26. We got to, you know, comfortable 20 points. If you entered here, you could have entered here. You could have waited for the retracement to the, you know, some people like to enter at the candle, the flip, and are very strict. So you could have had an insane trade if you just waited for a retracement, even though just here, just up here. Yeah, I'm just thinking. There's many setups where you would have had more than 2 hours. I just need to get better at drawing stuff. Anyway, so this might be the second trade. So we are, let's see. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, let's see. There's another clear zone with another SNDR, right? This is the one I had drawn. The indicator drew it as well, right? So let me hide my drawings. We have our own zone. We came back, tapped 50% of this at SNDR, right? That was already drawn. We are still bullish. We see we arrived at this origin, right? And we did a tap and a double tap and a rejection. Then we come back down to this SNDR. Now how price will behave around here will tell us if there's different ways to read it. We did breach this SNDR, we reached the origin, we tried to breach it, and we left it not being able to tap it. Sign of weakness. We come back to this SNDR, and let's see if we can take a trade. So consider that, yes, like I marked, that was a double tap. Well, we got liquidity level, double tap into an SNDR, can't breach below this, sign of strength. There's also there's another competing and opposing SNDR here. So if we can't go below 50% of this one and we can go above this one, that's an order flow hint that we're going up, right? These are the sort of stuff that I look for. So let's see what happens. Seems like we can't breach it. And then we do. Now, do we get a retracement? At the origin, not even at the origin. Yeah, I remember this. There was no entry. I would have wanted, what I would have liked was that would have been double, like a flip, like say double bottom, and then we would have a nice entry. At this, there was no, let's say, double bottom here. So I marked it as half, but there was no taking liquidity below here, or there was no flip. The flip was around here. All right, so maybe this setup would have been hard to take, though I don't remember. I don't remember which one I took. I took one of these. Maybe I took the early one and then got stop break even here. I don't remember. Keep going. We have a lot of price to move towards. So then finally we do breach this high that we were, yeah, I was in this, I think. I was in this, I took a part and then I got stop break even. And I don't know if at this point I was not, it was the start of lunch, so I was on break. Keep going. Oh, this will take a long time. Let's see what happens. You know which one is the next one. Remember that this, we didn't get a double bottom right here. We didn't get a double tap. Now, this is the $1 million setup. All right, I'm going to show you. We're walking through. We, after doing again, leaving a lot of equal highs and liquidity up there, we start with a bearish move. We go through the lunch break, New York lunch. And then at one point, you know, New York lunch starts these liquidity runs to 12:50. Oh, check the time, because it's important. So there's some bearish zones. We are still in, what's happening? So, okay. Remember we said that this, well, this didn't have a double tap. This one, we are at this origin. Can we breach it and see a reaction? Wait for it. It's 1. All right. So this is a setup at an origin. Origin of this zone, tapped it once, and then we come back and we do a double bottom. All right, now you're on point. Check in detail. Double bottom, double bottom. Still a fractal all the way. Origin of these tiny zones. Flip. Okay, if you were, you know, this is a hard trade to take. You have to have the narrative and confidence very high. But you're looking for basically the most vertical and violent setups you can take. These are the ones. So we could have taken, let's try for 3R. I don't remember what happened, to be honest. Enter at this 5-second flip. 10 points stop, right? See what happens. I have no idea what we're gonna get, to be honest. All right. Casual 31 points, right, with 10 point stop. So that's 3 hours in 6 minutes. Right. 3 hours in 6 minutes. Vertical run, no drawdown. Nice. Okay. Let's go. So now you see that there is a SNDR. So remove the drawings. There's an SNDR here. There's an origin here. And we do remember that, yeah, okay. just to remember, there's gonna be a double tap here, and this SNDR is gonna be topical, so we keep an eye on it. Okay, let's try it without hits. Let price do its thing. Ah, wait, I want to show you that setup that we took. What time was it? Oh, look, it's 12:55. So 12:50 to 1:10. So 12:55, we reverse and flip and go towards sort of equal highs, liquidity levels, and we make a run for it. Right, so we took some liquidity, ran the other side at 12:50 to 11:10. Could be a coincidence, but let's see. So indicator has drawn this by for us. So the ones that I actually annotated were drawn by indicator. So let's see if we can see something here. Something was annotated as a tap and a double tap. So idea is we're still bullish, breaching. We got to this origin and then rejected, but the momentum seems to be now to the upside after the lunch break. So we wait. We wait for arriving at this SNDR. Right, so we did 1, 2. Well, we did the first tap into the zone. Then we moved out. We couldn't go above here, so it's not a true SBS setup, but we reached the SNDR. And there's a lot of liquidity here. These all look the same and very familiar to me. So if you didn't have the wherewithal to take it from here, or just in this 5 seconds flip, maybe you could wait for a retest when this touches. So that's going to be a slightly bigger stop. Is this the run that's going to drive us to midnight? I'm not sure. Was it this one? I don't remember. One of them did. That would be 2R. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, so we would enter this one. Would you have been tagged? Yes. We're running. $13 points, so we reached a 1R. Let's see what happens. Is this the time we reach midnight or not? Wait. There's another setup here. What's happening? Where is this? Okay, it's a bit later. I don't know. Go. We let this trade run. How long are we? 13 minutes. Damn. Things take a long time to replay. On 5 seconds. Hey, it's almost there. In time, we could have taken so many more trades. It did offer 20 points. Hey, there's a double tap, and this might be a re-entry opportunity. Let's see. let's see. There's a lot of origins. There was this SNDR with a liquidity level above, so we came, tapped the SNDR. Was it the one I tweeted about? The one that did the billion points? I might have tweeted about this, yeah. This was gorgeous. See, zone, SNDR inside the zone, liquidity level above, cam, tap that liquidity, bounce on the SNDR, move up, and I think it moves vertical. I think it goes straight up. Does it go straight up? I think it goes straight up, huh? Interesting. There you go, midnight. Okay, so that was what we had drawn. Okay. So, how many stops? 30-point stop, okay. Yeah, you would have to wait for this one. And you could have had, they could have had a much smaller stop, of course, maybe to this opposing SNDR, but we would have gotten there with 2R. Okay, so that was one. The re-entry, the one that actually was annotated here, and now I see it. This is the crazy trade. You could have entered on this flip, or maybe wait for a little bit more confirmation. The reaction to, yeah, I don't know. There's a really thin flip here, maybe. This the creation of this valid low. Well, if your narrative is right, this is not a bad place to do so-called turtle soup. But let's not be too greedy and say you entered here, market at this. Right, 12. Look for 24. I realize I may be tired, so let's see what happens. All right. Okay. And you would have gotten another 2R, even if you enter this and you didn't want to risk it. Okay. Was this the last one? Did we go through all of them? Yeah. Okay. So what I want to show you is that, or reiterate, is that these levels are drawn automatically. So you need to have the experience to read market price, price action, market structure, price action, and how the responsible areas and the origins react to price. What's the form of the pattern that you're trading, the continuation of zones, coming back, taking out winners before making a real move. But if you study that, and there's many educators and traders that teach it, this indicator might help. So it was way longer than I expected, so apologies for that, and my energy level went a little bit lower as we went through it. I hope this gives you a sense of what I've built can do and show, and to train your eyes, or to help your eyes see something that you might have missed. Hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you soon. Sign-ups for early release of the indicator will come soon. Just give me time. My full-time job is trading. It's not coding indicators. I do that for my own performance. So I'll set up something soonish, and so that people can get their hands on this if they like it. Okay, thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye. I have a curtain, special new curtain. I built a website with some links to the free indicators. Link in the description. Thank you. Have a good one. Ciao.